Cities, our great cities are New York City is a crime den. Chicago is a crime den. You look at these great cities, Los Angeles, San Francisco, you look at what's happening to our country. We cannot let it happen any longer. And one of the other things I'll do, because, you know, you're supposed to not be involved in that. You just have to be asked by the governor or the mayor to come in. The next time, I'm not waiting. One of the things I did was let them run it, and we're going to show how bad a job they do. Well, we did that. We don't have to wait any longer.
Ron, what are you doing?
So I just have to say something first. I just have to say something first. So Donald Trump and Republicans talk about crime dens in New York City. They talk about crime dens in Chicago. It reminds me of the hearing we saw earlier this week where Senator John Kennedy was talking about the shooting range, world's largest shooting range in Chicago, and a Yale professor corrected him and said, actually, death rates are higher per capita in Mississippi and Alabama. In fact, if you look, in 9 out of 10 Trump states, you have the top 10 deadliest places to be with firearms. So it's just so funny when he talks about a crime den in Chicago and New York City. You know what? He ought to visit Louisiana, Monroe, Louisiana, most dangerous city. I think I read a couple of months ago in America. Jacksonville. Look at the top 10. Mississippi, Louisiana. Number 3 is New Mexico. Now that's the one blue state. 4 is Alabama. 5 is Wyoming. 6 is where's 6? What do we got for 6 here? Alaska.
Wow.
7 Montana, 8 Arkansas, 9 Missouri, and 10 Tennessee. Look at those red states. All of those red states have a higher death rate by guns per capita than New York, than California, and like even Oregon. If you're trailing behind Oregon, you got problems.
Yeah, I know we're kind of winding and weaving like we always do on Morning Joe, but can I show you that Senator Kennedy bite?
I would love that.
Okay, take a look at it.
Thank you, Mika.
You're welcome.
Why do you think that Chicago has become America's largest outdoor shooting range? Do you think it's because of Chicago citizens who have no criminal record, but who have lawfully a gun in their home for protection or perhaps for hunting? Or do you think it's because of a finite group of criminals who have rap sheets as long as King Kong's arm?
So Mississippi, Louisiana, and Missouri actually have higher firearm death rates. Obviously, there's certain...
What about Chicago?
So I don't live in Chicago. It's not my primary area of research.
You don't have an opinion on that?
I think there's easy access to firearms combined with environmental conditions, lack of great education. There have actually been studies showing that when you green vacant lots and repair abandoned buildings in urban neighborhoods, you see decreases in gunshots, in violence, as well as in stress and depression in the neighborhoods around them.
No disrespect, Doc, but that sounds a lot like word salad to me.
Well, it doesn't sound like word salad, but it sounds like you're trying to talk like you didn't go to Oxford.
And when you had the other
like
accent.
You didn't endorse John Kerry in 2004 saying, well, I believe Senator John Kerry is the best to lead this country
I wish you were joking,
in the
Joe.
future. No, I'm not joking.
You're not.
This guy went to Oxford. I tried going to Oxford.
He didn't talk like that.
To buy a T-shirt, and they kicked me off the campus. So this guy goes to Oxford, and it's interesting. I am voting for Senator John Kerry because I believe in 2004 and now he's going like,
where's my latte?
Well, it's like word salad. When the fact, what's so fascinating about this, Mark, is it would be like me trying to drive the lane on LeBron James and then getting like jammed and knocked to the ground by just his sheer athleticism, and to me going, that looked like word salad. Like this Yale professor crushed him
and kept her.
And
cool.
let's underline the fact he's talking about the shooting range in Chicago. She points out correctly that his own state has higher death rates per capita. Forget about Illinois. Illinois ranks like 25th or 26th. Louisiana's in the top 5. But Louisiana, the state, has higher death rates per capita for guns than the city of Chicago.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think that John Kennedy isn't 100% on the level here, given his background, where he's come from. But, right now, he looks like just a country lawyer asking a few questions, He doesn't know any better. What's interesting is that Democrats have actually, over many years, gotten finally okay about, or gotten better at pivoting to what the statistics actually are in places like Mississippi and Louisiana and Alabama, after just sort of letting a lot of frankly, thinly veiled, racist sort of, attacks on urban America.
That was not thinly veiled.
Yes, less than thinly veiled sometimes. Go unanswered. I mean, it was sort of this long-time punching bag. I don't know if this is working, but you saw Gavin Newsom last night. Was very quick to pivot back in the direction of gun deaths, specifically murder rates, specifically in Florida, which I think is savvy. And
in Jacksonville, and I didn't see it, but I heard Ron DeSantis responded by talking about feces in California.
He had some
It's
map,
kind of bizarre.
weird map. And
had
Ron
a
DeSantis,
feces map?
Yes, he does.
come on.
A little light
Feces
reading
map.
for, he had to travel up
No.
to Georgia. Yeah, it was weird. At one point, he
What?
just pulled out this. Look,
No,
I don't
come
know.
on.
Maybe he pulled it
does
off
that?
the internet or something. Well, Ron DeSantis.
What do you mean
apparently.
a feces?
It's like a map. I don't know. I don't read
No,
these
I need
things.
to know.
No, it's
Arguing
like
that Newsom has legalized making
defecating on the
defecating in
streets of
public,
San Francisco.
just trying to
Does
make
he have it, like,
California
on
this
GPS
wasteland
or something? Like, how
there
do
was
you
some infrared.
have
I
a
don't
map?
know.
Infrared.
It was like,
But Alexi, getting back to Senator John Kennedy, who went to Oxford, the John Kerry supporter who went to Oxford. He makes a wild, incorrect assumption about Chicago
In a
being
racist,
the
rude
world's
way.
biggest shooting range. He is then corrected by a woman who says, actually, your state has higher death rates per capita than the city of Chicago. And then he insults her.
Yeah, calling it word salad is just telling on himself that he couldn't understand what she was saying.
Right.
I mean, like when the facts do not back up your own point, then they are suddenly inconvenient
Then
to
you're
you
just
and don't
rude.
matter. You're rude, or you cherry pick another set of facts to tell your story. I think what's incredible, not in a good way, is that people cannot hold two truths at the same time. They cannot say, yes, there is an issue in my state and I'm doing X, Y, and Z to address it because it's a problem, but look at how it's out of control here, here, and here.
Right.
It's as if they don't care about
The
their own
premise
folks.
of this question was
Right, because
weird.
they're so concerned with, black people in Chicago, frankly.
And Chris, I want to follow up with one more.
Frankly.
It was hard to get to that, wasn't it? But that was what they're talking about.
I want to
J.D.
follow
Vance?
up. I want to follow up
all
really
the Southern
quickly
accent thing that everybody does. Because J.D. Vance does it. You can do it. You're good at it. But I'm telling you, J.D. Vance, Howie, they all play this game of, I'm just a working guy, I'm just out there swinging the pick. And these coastal elites, like they talked about yesterday, the coastal elites.
Can we get a picture of J.D. Vance in his little
It's a vest,
Silicon Valley vest? And he
It's
says,
just,
I love
I think it is
Silicon
Reed.
Valley. I love San Francisco.
He got a best-selling book about how weird all these people are. Now he's one of them, and they all play this game of I'm just a hick. I'm just one of you folks out there. I'm not like one of those.
And what are they doing, Chris? At the same time, what they're doing is they're giving the biggest tax cuts in history to the richest people in history, to billionaires, to multinational corporations. They're literally taking money from these people. They literally, they hate
Gavin Newsom.
They hate income.
You were taught because Gavin Newsom made that point
They
last
hate
night.
income transfers unless it's going from middle class and working class Americans to the very richest people in America. It's just ridiculous.
How's that work work? How's that work? Why does the guy out there who is swinging a pick, who has a rough job, works with real physical labor, and he's making what he's making, and he's looking at these guys with zillions of bucks, and he says they're the ones that are really rooting for this guy. Don't they notice that?
Well, part of the problem is what Mark just said. Democrats have to go on the offensive.
Really
Democrats just sit back while people are talking about Chicago, New York, San Francisco, this, that, the other. The Democrats need to do exactly what we're talking about right now. Hey, Senator, guess what?
Yeah.
You need to clean up the mess in your home state because you're in the deadliest state for guns. By the way, you have the city that is the deadliest city in America. Senator, you have the city, the single city that has the deadliest gunfire homicide rate in all of America. Worse than San Francisco, worse than Chicago, worse than New York, even worse than Jacksonville, Florida, which is really bad right now. Senator, Democrats need to talk that way.
And maybe
they never
teach you that
do.
at Oxford, Senator.
Yeah.
I mean, you can the sort of the chef's kiss at the end is Oxford.
It is Oxford.
Earlier, we actually started this conversation talking about Donald